Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Thursday, April 25th, 2019, and I'm Sarah Hayner. Tragic loss, unfortunate events, and more coming up next on Texan TV. In campus news, reporting from Tarleton State University's Twitter page, bobwhite quail are being reintroduced to our region. A new collaboration project between wildlife sustainability and ecosystem sciences and Dale Rollins is giving the Tarleton College agriculture and environmental science students first-hand experience in wildlife conservation and field search. In local news, the Empire Tribune is reporting that 3 people are dead following heavy rains and floods. Erath County residents woke up Wednesday morning to news that a high water rescue was taking place in Dublin. The news worsened as the day progressed, with reports that just one member, Gerardo Ramirez, survived in a family of 4. The family was caught up in the rushing water on FM 1702. Mother Monica Valdez's body was discovered inside the car. A short time later, the body of a 7-year-old boy was found about 400 yards from the car. A 3-year-old girl was found about 3 miles down the creek. Erath County Sheriff Matt Coates said that it is unclear how the accident happened, but an investigation is underway. And now, today's Texas, national, and international news from the Associated Press. An avowed racist who orchestrated one of the most gruesome hate crimes in the United States history was executed Wednesday in Texas for the dragging death of a black man. John William King, who was white, received a lethal injection for the slaying nearly 21 years ago of James Byrd Jr., who was chained to the back of a truck and dragged for nearly 3 miles along a secluded road in the piney woods outside Jasper, Texas. The 49-year-old Byrd was alive for at least 2 miles before his body was ripped to pieces in the early morning hours of June 7, 1998. King, 44, was put to death at the state penitentiary in Huntsville, Texas. He was the 4th inmate executed the year in the United States and the 3rd in Texas, the nation's busiest capital punishment state. In national news, authorities searching for a missing 5-year-old Illinois child found his body Wednesday and charged his parents with murder. The body, believed to be that of Andrew Freund, was covered in plastic and buried in a shallow grave in a rural area of Woodstock in Mission County, Crystal Lake Police Chief James Black said. Black said investigators went to the site after they interviewed the boy's parents overnight and presented them with cell phone evidence. This is not the outcome that we want to talk about, but it is the unfortunate result, said Jeffrey Sallet, who runs the FBI in Northern Illinois. The boy's parents each face charges of first-degree murder and other crimes. In more national news, Joe Biden has announced his bid for campaign for the 2020 presidential election. He was formerly the Vice President of the United States alongside President Barack Obama. To watch his presidential campaign video, we turn to the Associated Press.
Charlottesville, Virginia is home to the author of one of the great documents in human history. We know it by heart. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. We've heard it so often, it's almost a cliche, but it's who we are. We haven't always lived up to these ideals. Jefferson himself didn't, but we have never before walked away from them. And that's when we heard the words of the President of the United States that stunned the world and shocked the conscience of this nation. He said there were, quote, some very fine people on both sides. Very fine people on both sides? With those words, the President of the United States assigned a moral equivalence between those spreading hate and those with the courage to stand against it. And in that moment, I knew the threat to this nation was unlike any I had ever seen in my lifetime. I wrote at the time that we're in the battle for the soul of this nation. Well, that's even more true today. We are in the battle for the soul of this nation.
In international news, France wants to speed up Notre Dame's reconstruction work. France's government has presented a bill aimed at speeding up the reconstruction of the cathedral and providing transparency on how the donation money for the restoration will be spent. The bill detailed Wednesday in a weekly cabinet meeting will allow the government to pass emergency orders regarding Notre Dame and to skip some ordinary renovation procedures. French President Emmanuel Macron has set a goal of rebuilding the cathedral in just 5 years. The bill will go to Parliament in the coming weeks. In sports, reporting from the Empire Tribune, Tarleton will be in search of a new leader for the women's tennis program after head coach Lance Drake has announced his resignation effective May 1st due to health concerns. Drake will end what the Empire Tribune described as a career as the most decorated tennis coach in the history of Tarleton State University. The National Weather Service says today will be partly sunny, then gradually becoming more sunny with a high near 77. The west-north wind is 5 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. It's going to be a windy day, folks. This has been a production of Texan TV News, a product of the Texan News Service from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas. Watch us live on Apogee Channel 2.1 in the dorms at 12:30 weekdays. If you live off campus, tune in on Northlink Cable Channel 9. You can follow the Texan News Service on Facebook and Twitter and check out our website at www.texannews.net for all of your latest local, state, national, and international news. Today's broadcast was produced by Whitley Combs and Jordan Rankin. Have a wonderful day, Texans.